Yes, sir.
Just a second. Know when you're ready.
I'm good.
All right. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Morgan Township work session, October 5th, 2021. Roll call, Mr. Updike, yes. Mr. Brucker?
Yes.
Mr. Kolb?
Yes.
All right, so kind of want to call the work session is if we're going to proceed with this volunteer or Small Town America Civic Volunteer Award, we kind of need to move on it, or we'll discuss it, whether we want to wait and try to make sure we got everything set next year, or if we want to try to go ahead and push it this year. So I'll kind of open it up. I don't know if there's anything where we go talking about names, if that should be in the public.
Well, the thing is, we haven't asked anybody if they are interested. We're just going to throw names out, so I don't know that we want that to be, so we could throw a name out like your candidate, then decided not to. So it was probably a good thing that you didn't mention their name or his name or her name last meeting. Because I haven't talked to anybody to, ask them if they're even interested in it.
I haven't either. The only thing I did was send you guys an email of possible names that we could.
Yeah. I think the Evans, are they back in town? I know they were going to Florida.
I don't know.
But, so I know they were potentially
Well, before we say names, let's see if we need to do we want to do that out in the public, or do we want to, because we're going to be pushing this to do this, and I think you know a little more about it than I do, because I'm assuming you already had somebody write something up. Does there need to be a write-up, or do they just fill out that app, or do you know for sure? Because I haven't pushed it more than kind of what I brought here.
there's got to be a narrative. So what I had done is I asked for input and then drafted it. So to make it read like written in the third person, like it would be coming from us as a nominee. So it would have to be something that we would want to wordsmith and build up, and then you attach it. There's in the body of the application. There's a block where you can cut and paste your nomination recommendations into, and then everything else is just a formality. The information: who, what, when, where, and why.
I think I had.
And then I think I'd mentioned to you then would be like a senior official endorser. So somebody would do the nomination. One of either a public official or an employee of a township would be a first endorser, and then the second endorser would be most.
Yeah, because it says right here
would
what
be
you're
you.
talking about. Nominators must confirm that their nominations have been approved by the chief elected appointed official of local governments they represent. Each locality may submit up to 2 nominations, but they need to be separate submissions. So we qualify because we're under the 25,000. Do we want to try to push it and do it this year, or do we want to wait and next? Because obviously they do it every year.
If we got a strong candidate, I'd say do it this year. And I would also maybe recommend, if we wanted to put the strongest package together, what you send it up to Tom Hall and for a recommendation, and they say would he be willing to endorse a nominee out of our township? I think he would probably do that for us.
Oh, Thomas Hall. Never mind. I'm thinking of.
Tom Hall, the shoes.
Yeah, I for some reason was thinking of the one for the Republican Party when you said Hall. I can't think of what his name is now. The one who's in, huh?
Local or?
Yeah, the
state?
local guy who's in charge of the party. Was thinking of
Oh.
the wrong person.
Yeah, I apologize, Thomas Hall. But I really don't think that would be necessary unless you really wanted to put a layer of oversight on top of it. But I would like to see somebody throw somebody's name into the ring. But like I had said to you, a lot of the people, I don't know the backgrounds, what's our best candidate. I hate to see have somebody go through all the hoops and jump all the hurdles they need to do, and we don't have somebody that, we don't feel really could compete at that level.
I don't think I think we're
So
just
do
gonna.
they have to go to Columbus for anything, or?
No.
But
I didn't read
But
anything.
isn't there like a regional or national or
Well, they
something?
said I'm a little conflicted because it's coming down through the state, but as I read the document, it says it's a national. Now, I don't know if we compete.
I think if you win at the state, then they put all the states against each other to do a national, was my understanding. Civic Plus provides cash awards, $20,000, $10,000, $5,000, respectively, to local governments represented by the top 3 national honorees. So it does go national. Local representatives by the top 100 nominees may qualify to receive free volunteer management modules and 12 months of free ongoing support from Service of Civil Plus, which I don't know what that is. And that's what the winners receive. So basically, it sounds like since we can nominate 2, there's going to be 2 winners from each state. Then they all compete, and then the top 3 out of the nationals gets those awards. But it looks like the winners of each state, because that's 100 nominees, that'd be 2 from each state, receive whatever the free volunteer management module. I don't know what that is. That's what it says.
It sounds like a one-time good deal that somebody who is behind sponsoring all of this has some software packages or teaching modules that they're maybe selling through the state or hawking to the townships or something like that. I'm always weary about when I read who stands behind a lot of this and who the sponsorships are coming from.
Because right here it says, one frequently asked question, what is a small town civic award or volunteer award? Basically, the Small Town America Civic Volunteer Award is the nationwide recognition and award program designed for 2 purposes. The first is to shine a spotlight on the increasing challenge faced by many smaller localities in finding volunteers for critical public service roles. The second is to recognize individual civic volunteers and volunteer organizations for outstanding service. The program is available to small communities and counties with populations of 25,000 or less. What are examples of public service volunteer? Civic volunteers are unpaid residents who fill credential roles in municipalities and counties. They include local government boards and council members, volunteer firefighters, emergency medical technicians, and advisory committee members supporting libraries, parks, recreational service, planning, and zoning among others. When will this Small Town America Civic Volunteer Award take place? The official launch is July 15th. Nominations must be submitted by October 15th. Announcing of winners and other presentations awards will be made on or about November 15th. Who is sponsoring the Small Town America Civil Volunteer Awards? Small Town America Civic Volunteer Award Program is being underwritten by Civic Plus. Civic Plus is the nation's leading technology platform for local governments, working with over 4,000 local governments, including municipalities, counties, and municipal departments. For more information, visit www.civicplus.com. And it's got a whole list of different ones. It's got who the sponsors are, what the winners receive. Here's a good one. Must our local government agree to accepting a volunteer management module in order to participate? The answer is no. So I wonder if they do programs for local
I'm just
government.
reading this, I did not check that. Civic Plus, it's basically, it sounds like it's an advertisement for them. It's what we offer: government website design solutions for municipalities and much more. Civic Plus is a leader in software for local governments, including parks, fire departments, and other local government agencies.
That's what I was thinking.
So I'm thinking, is this thing sponsored by somebody that's just trying to drum up business, and we submit, and then we're going to get hounded by sales calls?
It's like an insurance company.
Here, read
It's like
that one.
It's like an insurance company that would do a benevolent or charitable type event, and they're doing it for the awareness of the company, and then trying to make the contacts into the local governments that they can follow up
Here,
with.
now we give you an award. Why don't you take or look at our, yes.
So it's always a give and take thing. No, there's no free lunch. But I mean, I think we can easily turn it down, but on the other side, it's a benefit to the people that in the township to be recognized if we wanted to do that.
Well, we could create our own award for Morgan Township and do that. Just
I always
recognize
thought
somebody and spotlight them
I always thought about that.
and just do it, put it on our website or Facebook and
Run
put
it up
in-
through
put
the.
it in the Cornerstone. And
Why wouldn't we do it through Butler County? The BCTA.
I don't know,
you know,
that's something we could
townships-
bring up, but
We
I'm
start
kind of
our
leery
own.
about this now. I think it's just, remember the company that was going to, we met them up in Columbus?
Yeah, and we
And they-
talked about for the firehouse, and the prices were
Oh
just,
my gosh, they said, we'll manage your project, it won't cost you a cent. The more we got into it, it was like, we were hook, line, and sinkered in.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. the free-
everything they said, it would have cost us way more going through them than it would have just doing
And
what we did on
then
our
when
own.
we denied or declined them, so no, they came down, they talked to us, and told us what they could do for us, which sounded amazing. We'll vet all your contracts, blah, 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 and then we said, no, we're not gonna do it, and then they wanted to bill us.
No,
Wait a
what?
minute, you said this was all free. This
Did
is
you
all
s-
government, this is all paid for by the government.
We didn't sign anything. We
Exactly.
don't have any. Show us the agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cheesy.
It was very cheesy. So,
Well, do you want to go a different direction then on this? We could.
I
What
think
if we do our own?
I think we could, and
And
then
see
we
if
could
there's
talk with
even
the Butler
interest
County,
in the county.
Township Association, and see if we can do something and then talk to, like you said, Thomas Hall, and see if we can do something, like run them up, township, county, to state.
So I was thinking, I mean, we got the format right here.
We don't need they don't need a monetary, just recognition, like, they don't need, unless, some organization wants to sponsor it. But again, you gotta make sure that they don't have a hidden agenda, like a business or something, but.
I think that would be pretty neat to be able to compete at the county level just for that visibility and comparing your best with
Right.
with
And we could even-
Madison's best and
We
all
could
that.
even do that maybe at like the
But
fair.
should we do it
or
as
something,
who's the best, or should we do it as a promotional thing? Almost like what they said, but they're not doing. Here's some of our volunteers, some kind of recognition. Put them in the spotlight, maybe get them in the paper, get them, I don't know if we do it
Yeah,
once a
paper,
month or once,
papers.
I was gonna say once a year, because you do once a month, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I would do it once
Or
a year.
Once a year would be
Yeah.
would be
Promote.
great. And
Maybe
then-
each township promotes one person, and then do a thing where they come to the Township Association, we do a picture of everybody.
Right, that'd
And
be
all
something.
the,
We could do that at one of the township
each
association
represent-
meetings.
The volunteer of the year from each township, you got
Here-
13 people.
Here's another thought. You could have different categories. The idea of this is to get people involved in volunteering, which I really like. I really like that. So you could do one for under 20, and then do one for like a child or a 20 years and younger, or the teen, or an age group, and then do one for, the senior guy that's been at it for his whole life. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Or you could just do it for the
What if we
for
just
the
do
one
one ourselves this year? Maybe we do that around Christmas time,
But then how
and then
we
try
don't
to
want
promote
to
it into the,
we can't judge it though. We want to nominate a guy, but then we got to have a third
We have to have a
entity
judging committee, yeah.
involved in saying, yeah, he's the guy.
Otherwise, if we do it, it'd just be a popularity contest. Who's the most notarizable person in our township, or we need to have their accomplishments like displayed, and then have like a judging committee.
so are
look
we
into it.
gonna just do it civil or all volunteer things throughout? You know where I'm going with that? Because this is kind of government backed.
What was you said critical, when you started reading it, you said critical something, when it qualified what the award was for.
Okay, that was, I think, in
And
this.
you had to read it real carefully. And it was about like the third or fourth line you read when it decided the purpose of the award.
It's not on this.
What are examples of?
No, it has to be before that.
This one here, the Small Town America Civil Volunteer Award is a nationwide recognition and award program designed for two purposes. The first is to shine the spotlight on increasing challenge faced by many smaller localities or local. I'm pronouncing that wrong, ain't I?
Localities.
Localities in finding volunteers for critical public service roles.
Critical public service role, that was it.
And then the second is to recognize individual civil volunteers and volunteer organizations for outstanding service. So, cause see, basically they're only looking for volunteers under local government roles, like our zoning, fire, volunteer firemen. But they awarded people that are doing like historical, and I don't know that falls under local government, because to me that's not local government, but it's something I think should be open.
I think we could have two categories, like, okay, like government, like zoning, fire department, volunteers, things like that, and then have another side for, there's a lot of people volunteer their time coaching, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, 4-H clubs, you know, and let people.
Church groups.
Yeah, let people, you know, from the community. Submit people, and, you know, then we can vet them, and then once we get good, strong candidates, then we, you know, I guess we could even have,
Well, if we
make
let
it,
the
make it to where
people-
we had like maybe the people on the school board or something come in and or,
Well, here's one other thing. If we let the people submit the nominees, then we could be the judges.
well, we could.
I don't have any problem with really us being a judge. I don't, now that I'm rethinking about it, as
It
long
depends
as we
on how
don't,
we
it's like a
do
self-licking
it.
ice cream cone. If we select and we judge, it's compromised. But if others submit
Select it,
and
yeah.
we evaluate pros and cons, you know, like when we hire somebody, we've got pros and cons, and then you weigh apples to apples and say, hey, this is the guy, this is the lady. So yeah, we could do that. So the question is, this year or next? Is this off the table? Do you want to pass on this one?
I say we pass on this. I like the idea, now we can't make decisions tonight, but I like the idea of us doing it more here, or even maybe developing it here and then taking it to the Township Association where maybe the other townships would want to do it too. I don't know. And then at the end of the year, maybe, you know, if we had 1 or 2 winners from each township, invite them to one of the meetings.
Hey,
And
I tell you what would be a pretty cool thing is let the townships submit candidates, and then you know, I'm sure Thomas would love to get involved in this. It kind of gives him some exposure and some notoriety. Let his office do an evaluation on selecting and then let him come in and shake the guy's hand and congratulate, give him a certificate from the state or something like that. I always think going up is better if
Or
the
have
more you
both.
can get.
I like both.
Well, we would
Yeah.
do it at this
Yeah.
level, and then they would just be like,
Yeah.
they go state, and then they go to nationals. We just go.
Because let me ask
we
you
go
this: is
township
there
to
more
county
than
to
one?
state.
Is there more than one representative in our township? Because I want to say there is. I can't remember where the lines are drawn. I know Thomas is ours, but they're drawn really funny, and I don't know the answer. I can't remember. That'd be something I'd have to ask Amy.
Well,
Because,
maybe you want to
or
ask
maybe I'm thinking. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm thinking of the Republican thing because
I think
there's
you
more
are.
than one in Morgan
Yeah.
Town. There's like 3 in Morgan Township,
I think that's the
and
Republican
I may be
thing.
getting
3 state
3.
representation.
No, 3 representations for the Republican Party.
Hmm.
Because there's different areas. Because I know Rob Brum's
Oh,
one,
yeah.
my wife's one,
Yeah.
and then Chris Schwartz is one. And they're all in Morgan Township, but they're all elected to that spot for Central Committee for that.
Are you guys going to the dinner on next Thursday?
I'm not.
I'm not. I'll be gone.
I saw Candace Keller's coming. She RSVP'd, and I was wondering what in the world is she sniffing around for?
Oh, she's been causing all kinds of hell. So, yeah.
So
Have fun with that.
I thought you. Well, I tell you, my granddaughter. My granddaughter's a photographer, FC Cincinnati, and she works for Great American. So, the president of the club is going to be the guest speaker that night. So it's kind of a big deal. So I'm going to take her with me as a guest, and so she can talk to him and just see him again. But it should be a good time. I wish you guys could have made it, but I'll let you know how
I'll
it
be in
goes.
Florida. I'm leaving
I'm getting
either
ready to
Monday
go.
night or after the meeting, or early Tuesday morning.
I'll send you regards.
I'm getting ready. Well, this weekend I'll be going to Terre Haute because my daughter gets to finally walk for graduation at college.
all that money, you should see that I have that
Oh,
privilege.
God. I could have bought a freaking Corvette and paid for it cash and had money to go blow with it. What I paid for that school.
Well, Dad, that's just what you do.
That school's 70-some thousand a year. Thank God she had a
So you could-
scholarship for over half, or I'd never be able to afford it. Not even freaking close. It'd been cheaper to pay the whole thing and go UC. I wouldn't have spent near the money, and that's even with a scholarship paying half out here.
Yeah, the scholarships look pretty good sometimes, but
Oh, it was nice.
What,
'Cause there's no way we could afford it otherwise. Shit, I don't even make that a year.
well, do we need to go any further on this, or you want to put it in the parking lot and let us think about it for a little bit?
I think we could bring it up at next meeting or a future meeting and just say this is something we want to, put out there, and then we could promote it on our website, on Facebook, and
Okay.
anybody that wants to, maybe like January through the end of March, people submit names, people that they feel that meet the criteria.
We'll have to kind of come up with some criteria. I like opening it up to people that have coached, people that have volunteered at your church, people that have put in, I don't know, different things for the community, and leave civil there too, is one that can qualify, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
you don't have to be just a civil, but
Well, I think you'd probably want to.
somebody trying to come in? Somebody is coming in. Well, hello? No, we're just doing a work session, so you're good.
So we want to, we would make it very broad. We could say unpaid volunteer work in the, I mean, do you want to,
Well, here's
we
one
could
thing.
put some lists
Do we want to
together.
put, because here's the only bad part. You got fire guys for volunteer that actually get paid anymore. In fact, I'd say the last 15 years, they did get paid. They don't get paid enough for what they're doing. I mean, they get basically it covers maybe their fuel, their gas. That's about it.
Yeah.
They don't pay for the time, don't pay for
Well-
that. So how do we just thought, and I'm not saying we gotta have an answer tonight, but I don't wanna exclude them, cause there's people I know that's done that for a long time.
Is it people that are currently, or people that have done it over the last, like, we probably got some people in the township that, when we were all volunteer, that are still alive, that did it when we first started out.
I say no, you open it up to both,
Yeah, I think they met the criteria, but it doesn't have to be like current.
What's going to be part of what you're going to, like for your example, you did it, 20 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And then you did something at your church, and then you coached basketball and football, and it all accumulates. You're not going to get an award out of just volunteering with the fire department. You're going to have a lot of people that just have that spirit of volunteering. They're going to do this and that, and at the end, they got quite a impressive nomination. So always include it, no matter what you did.
Yeah.
Heck, it might be you.
No.
I kinda like that idea of going our own award, or even a
County.
county type award, and it may end up only being us, I don't know.
You'll have to talk to,
Maybe Gary
almost
would.
well, in
think
November, we're sponsoring the Township Association
Yeah.
dinner or meeting, so we could bring it up then.
But it is so poorly attended anymore. Unless you tell Gary and have him put it out on lists, get somebody to kind of buy in from him, and then let him put it out on listserv, and then start talking it up over the next 6 months. It's going to take a while to get the idea out there and people bought in and
Part of
formalized
the
everything.
problem is the COVID. Uh, And here's the bad thing. They were having meetings when they shouldn't have been having meetings. And I think some got a bad taste in that. It is what it is. But
Yeah, but it had, nothing's recovered. That's the fallout. And, you know, to bring it back, I don't know how you do it. Just seems like there's dying inch, you know, just like volunteerism is dropping off. People don't do it. You know, people have got their own deal going on,
well,
and it's tough to.
to add to what you're saying,
Yeah, and you know, everybody knows people are busy. You know, everybody's
and look
working.
how much busier you are now. When you
Yeah.
got all these different things going, you kind of pick and choose what you can do and where you can
Yeah.
go. And
You got to pick your fight.
Well, knock on wood, we've been, you know, very blessed, I guess, in getting volunteers. Everything that we've got, you know, openings for volunteer positions,
It's
get,
amazing.
we get people. We got 2 people to interview for
An
the
alternate.
alternate. And I'm thinking,
used to we had
Why-
to fight.
why don't
to
we-
just to
why don't we
find
just
one
put
to
them
even
both
go on the
on?
board.
I mean, look how fast we went through the alternates already. You know, people
Yeah.
stepping down and moving to one board or whatever. We just,
I'm in the meeting. I'll call you back. Bye.
so, you know, it's like, but I know other townships and other governments just cannot get anybody, even schools. I mean, my wife did after prom at the high school for years, and we had 3 kids staggered over a lot of years, and she did that, and it's just like, it's like kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. Everybody wants to be a room mom. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to bring it. After that, you can't buy them. You can't get them.
Well, I know coaching, like when we did Little Pro Football, I did that years back. I even helped when I was in high school. But then when I got out and I started coaching my kids later and started that, you know, to run the concession stand, you couldn't get people in it. You had to make it where it was mandatory or your kid don't play. I mean, I hate to say it and hate to be that way.
Yeah.
But it got to that point. And they always, it was rough.
Things have changed.
It's like Ken Tumbleson, that's how I met him, was Little Pro Football. His kid was playing, mine was playing. I think he run that concession stand for 4 or 5 years. Even when his kid quit playing, he helped us. And you can't get people to do that.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a big job.
Well, plus, you know, he's got his hands full with his business. He's not like he's got free time.
No, and it's a lot. So maybe we'll work on this a little more each meeting, or
Yeah.
see where we can go.
We got time.
I don't know what we do for an award.
Plant a tree.
Well, maybe we can get Cornerstone to put their picture in the paper.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Get some
Picture in the
recognition.
paper. I don't know. Certificate of recognition's easy to get them. That's not a whole lot of money. I don't know if we wanted to start plaques or do anything. If we're doing it once a year, we might make a little nicer plaque or something.
Could we make like a plaque like we do have for
That
the
would be a nice-
trustees and just put them every year,
Add.
add the name?
Yeah, I need to check on that. I got that over at the guy who's engraving it too. I forgot about that.
Okay. Well, we can't make any decisions tonight anyway, so.
No,
Just
but it's just
brainstorming.
thoughts to brainstorm and to think on and go, and I think we're all kind of shying away from this because of what it is. Maybe making our own, which I think is a good idea, actually. Especially if we can keep it, you know, we do ours for Morgan Township residents that volunteer.
It definitely is a barometer for the health of your community, to be looking for recognizing people. Because I see that a lot, is that they people don't feel connected to what's going on around them, and it's kind of difficult, even out here, as widely spread as everybody is. Okay? You
Okay.
wanna
All right.
All right,
If
Make a
nothing
motion?
else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second,
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Mr. Brocker?
yes,
Mr. Updike? Yes.
we are adjourned.